Ford with a coolant sensor code, car is running rich and sometimes doesn't start. Most coolant sensors operate the same way. They usually have two wires, one is a 5-volt source and the other side should be ground. And as it gets hot, the resistor inside the coolant sensor will change, which will change the voltage going to the computer. So if you go into here, this is the connector view for the coolant sensor on this Ford, and you can see the different temperatures for the different voltage. I have two leads on the coolant sensor. One should be 0 volts, which is your ground, and the other one should be usually 2.7 to 3 volts, depending on the temperature. As it gets hotter, it will go down to a 0.7 volts. This is when you know that the coolant sensor is working properly. As you see, I set my scope to 10 volt scale, and then I actually put on 2 trace. So we have 2 traces. I put it on 2 trace because I wanted to show you how the ground system works. It looks like it's getting a partial ground because it's like around 3 volts. So what I did is I went ahead and clipped a ground circuit to the ground side of the coolant sensor and just touch it. And as you can see, when I do touch it, you can see the ground's going down, which is also changing your coolant sensor voltage. When you have your ground and it goes through the resistance, it completes the circuit, so the coolant sensor will drop to its normal voltage. When it doesn't drop to its normal voltage, just think it's at a negative 40 degrees, and then that's why it runs rich and you can't get it to start sometimes. What you can do is take a wire and run it to the negative side of the coolant sensor and then run it to straight ground. A ground is a ground, so it will work. It'll just bypass the computer and change the sensor when it needs to. Thanks for watching this video. Here's a quick tutorial on a coolant sensor, which most of the computers work the same way. So even if it's a Chevrolet, it's going to be the same for instance. Thanks.